What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Nothing But Skills, and today I'm bringing you guys another H1Z1 video. This video is a video I've been working on for a little bit, but I wanted to gather a little bit of information from different interviews that I've read about on the internet. Now, I wanted to bring this all in one video, so that's why it took me a little bit to gather everything, and I wanted to make sure that all the information was correct. There has been a couple interviews out there on the internet if you go around searching Google, but there were a couple journalists flown out to Las Vegas to cover a particular H1Z1 Pro League event, and during that event they had a chance to sit down with the lead systems and combat designer Tony Morton. Now, during that interview, one of the person asked, there's another free-to-play game, the juggernaut out there called Fortnite. How can you convince those people to try out this game versus just sticking with Fortnite? Well, Tony comes back and says free-to-play obviously removes any barrier of entry, so of course you guys do know this game is 100% free, and that's why he said that most people will most likely try this game out just because the fact that it is free. But when it comes to gameplay of choice, they may show the same rule set, but they are completely different games, and that's what he's talking about. Fortnite and H1Z1 are completely different games. So if you look at H1Z1, the more pure combat experience, it's got the vehicles which are really fun. It focuses on airdrops, it focuses on conflict, and then it also about getting in, getting those guns and just shooting people, and that's it. While they may have the same rule set, it's a completely different game, and I think there's an audience out there that is willing to at least give H1Z1 a shot. And I totally agree with this. I believe that H1Z1 has a different feel. I feel that it's going to bring a different type of audience, and it might even take some of the people who are into Fortnite but don't like the building and they just want to get into that pure combat battle royale. Now, he also goes down to say the pure battle royale, there's an adrenaline rush when it comes down to me versus you, gun versus gun, and that's it. There's nothing else to top it. There's no complication. It's just my aim versus your aim. I think what he meant by that was there's no building. So like if you're fighting somebody, you don't have to worry about them outbuilding you to kill you because it's just gun versus gun. Who can hit who first? When you get into a gunfight, it's all about who has better aim. Now, the next question was, compared to PC version, the pace of the PS4 version is compressed. Do you think that increased pace along with low barrier of entry is enough to get people to say, hey, let me go check this out? Tony comes back and says, we made a lot of choices and we did our due diligence to make sure that we didn't just port it from PC. So that's one thing you guys need to pay attention to. They made a lot of changes to the PC version, and for you guys who don't like the PC version, well, you really want to try out this PlayStation 4 version because they did do a lot of changes. He also says, so whether it's removal of inventory, removal of crafting, the removal of salvaging, the weapon wheel, the match pacing, the airdrops, all of these things went into consideration, and that's how they came up with these things. Let's make this great experience on console while preserving the essence of a pure battle royale. So when all these things kind of come together, I think it's going to feel really good on console and all the way down to the control scheme. You just have to pick up the game and play. And the next question is, what's going to be the big difference between the PS4 Pro version and then the base PS4 version? Because a lot of you guys have been asking that question. Well, is it going to be different on PS4 Pro? Do I need the PS4 Pro? Can I play on my base PS4? And this is the answer that Tony answers with. He says, right now, from a more technical aspect, the big differences is the PS4 Pro is locked in at 60 frames per second, and I think the normal PS4 right now is locked in at least 45 frames per second. So there's a slight frame rate difference, but even the normal PS4 version still runs really well. Outside of that, I'm not really sure from a technical aspect if there's anything we'll be taking advantage of. So the same source did confirm that via email the PS4 Pro version is locked in at 60 frames per second, and the PS4 version is currently hitting a mid 50 frames per second with current internal testing. But Daybreak is working with Sony to optimize it. Both versions have a cap of 60 frames per second. So they're not saying that the regular PS4 won't be able to hit 60 frames per second. So that's a good thing for you guys. A lot of you guys were wondering about the PS4 Pro. Do you need it to hit 60 frames per second? Well, as of right now, they may be able to get the regular PS4 version to hit 60 frames per second. Right now, it's in the mid 50 frames per second. The next question, what a lot of you guys really probably want to know, is the resolution, right? So the question was, do you know from a resolution standpoint, are you guys looking at a 1080p 60 frames per second version? Tony at that time said that I do not know. I'm not sure if it's 1080p, but it was confirmed later on via email that the game is 1080p on the PS4 Pro and 720p on the base PS4. The next question had to do with aim assist, mouse and keyboard, ADSing, everything you have to do with aiming on this game. The question was focused on this game was built on a PC. How did you guys go from PC to console to kind of give that feel, because using a mouse and keyboard is a lot easier to aim with than a controller. Is there some type of aim assist on the console? Tony comes back and says, the last time I checked with the console team, there's usually a couple different types of aim assist. At least Call of Duty single player, you notice they have snap aim. It's more of a aim shoot, aim shoot, aim shoot. Other games have more of a friction base, so you go to aim, and as you pan over somebody, it naturally slows down and speeds back up again once you're no longer near their body. The console version of H1Z1 uses more of a friction based. It's not that snap toggling aim. That's to allow you to decide if you want to aim to the body or you want to aim for the head. Because of the bullet drop as well as the bullet lead, if you want a full snap aim on a running target, you're never going to hit that target because the bullet is just going to keep dropping behind them. And so it's more of a friction based, where as you get closer to the target, you can just feel the frictions. It makes it a little bit easier to interact with it. So the interviewer does come out and say, as a PC gamer, that seems like a very fun, fast-paced game. And he says, are there any plans to design something like this for the PC gamers? Tony comes out and says, we're excited for the PS4 because it gives them kind of a clean slate. Let's try some new stuff, do something a little bit different, do an innovating pass on the battle royale game. He did say if the PC audience sees stuff that they like on the console and says, hey, we need that on the PC, then yeah, they'll think about it and they may bring it to the PC side. So the next question talks about, so once the open beta comes out, is there really only one mode? Tony comes back and says, we're gonna have solos, we're gonna have duels, we're gonna have fives. I'm not sure if the actual plan is right now for event sides, so like the special modes where everybody has crossbows or magnums or shoddy snipers, which is self-explanatory, those may be something we'll support, but for the base game right now, it's only gonna be solos, duels, and fives. So that's pretty cool to know that they may have special events where they do shoddy snipers, they do crossbow magnums. That's pretty cool to know that they do have maybe some special events coming on in the future, and I totally agree all games should have that. You have your base mode and then you do special events. That always gives you something else to play when you get kind of bored of the game. Now they do talk about crossplay services, and the question comes up is, have you considered potentially adding some crossplay between PC and PlayStation 4? You have the games like Rocket League, which are PS4 PC crossplay. I can play Gears of War on my PC with my buddy on Xbox. As a consumer, that's great because you don't have to worry about the barrier. Now it's not a matter of what platform, it's I just want to play with my friends and I can do that. Have you considered crossplay between PC and PlayStation 4? And then Tony says, right now, we're not really looking into that. There are a few core differences. Bullet speed and the bullet drop are completely different on the two platforms. So that's kind of a no-go. Even outside of that, when it comes to a game like H1, where the precision and accuracy you gain with the mouse and keyboard, even with crazy aim assist on a controller, it's just night and day differences. And that's what I try to tell people a lot. If you're playing mouse and keyboard on console games, you're already at an advantage because of the way a mouse and keyboard works. It's point and shoot, you have more accuracy, you can hit those headshots a lot more. It's not the same thing. So a lot of you guys who think you're great at games because you're using a mouse and keyboard when 95% of console users are using controller, doesn't make you that much better. It just means that you can get those shots off a lot faster and you're more accurate with it because you're just pointing and shooting versus having to use your thumbsticks to hit people. Tony came out right here and said why he's not going to support mouse and keyboard on this game. He also continues on and says, so right now the two platforms will play in their own playground. As we move forward, we may explore certain things. Maybe there's a chance though, the events where we can do crossplay action, but at launch, for the foreseeable future, PC will play on PC and PlayStation will play on PlayStation. Now the next question is for all you Xbox fanboys, all you people who love your Xbox. The next question says, are there any designs to bring this to the Xbox family on consoles?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Tony comes back and says we get that a lot. Right now we're focused obviously on PS4. We want to get this out the door. We want to make sure it can be the best version that it can be. And then once it's out there and we're happy, then we're totally open to exploring other platforms and other ideas. Absolutely. Hopefully I can get into the closed beta next Monday, which is the 14th. That's when they will be sending out more closed beta codes. If you haven't signed up, you can go to h1z1.com/PS4. Remember, it's only on PS4 right now. I hope this answered all your questions. I hope this was some new information that you guys didn't know about. I'm excited to keep bringing you my coverage on H1Z1. As soon as I get the game out, we'll be streaming on my Twitch channel. If you haven't already, go drop me a follow. It's twitch.tv/nothingButSkills. And then remember, if you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're watching one of my videos on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that way when I release a video, you get notified. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or there's anything that you kind of want to know about H1Z1 that maybe I know about and I can answer for you, use the comment section down below. Thank you guys again for all the support. You guys have been amazing. You guys are the best. You guys have been supporting all the new content I've been bringing to my channel, and without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Nothing but skills is out.